Hey there, Kenneth French of Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. We're very, very happy you stopped by. Either you're going to watch this or listen to this because you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably an entrepreneur who's either just starting out or you've been around for quite a while and you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably a real estate investor, maybe even a real estate agent, maybe a professional or of some sort, professional advisor of some sort. And well, you are stopping by because you need some valuable advice from one of the top industry leaders there is. Anyway, thank you very much. Once again, Kenneth French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Really glad you stopped by. You are leaving money on the table. Hey there, this is Kenneth French of VastSolutionsGroup.com. What do I mean by you're leaving money on the table? There are so many people who are not going after R&D tax credits, meaning entrepreneurs who are just walking over dollars because they're not applying or not even asking their professional advisor about R&D tax credits or research and development tax credits. A lot of people don't know what they are, even tax professionals. The reason I'm doing this because I just got a call from a tax professional who's asking us how to get some R&D tax credits for their clients. By the way, it's dollar for dollar in that specific circumstance. Anyway, so let's get right to it. I'm going to do a presentation outlining R&D tax credits that I put together. Did it a while ago, doing it again now because this CPA reminded me how important they are. Why? Because he totally forgot about it. He's an experienced CPA, and if he's going to forget about it, that reminds me how many people are forgetting about it. So you probably are in that camp because you're probably an entrepreneur who's watching this, listening to this, and just have not been given any help by your professional advisor. Let's get right to it. I'm going to share my screen, then we're going to go over R&D tax credits so you know exactly what's going on. So you can go to your provider, your tax provider, and say, wait a minute, we should be talking about R&D tax credits. Now, it sounds a little nerdy, R&D tax credits, I know, but they're tax credits that you're probably walking over those dollars right now. It's free for you, basically. All you have to do is, make a call to your tax professional, and what he or she will do is help you at least briefly analyze if R&D tax credits will work for you. And I'm willing to bet you, because you're doing some AI, you're probably going to get some R&D tax credits, and they are nice tax credits. It's not a deduction, it's a tax credit. Unlocking the power of R&D tax credits at VastSolutionsGroup.com. So it's government's incentivizing us as entrepreneurs to push the envelope, to push commerce, to push business forward, corporate world forward, whatever the case is. That's exactly what an R&D tax credit is. The government's paying for us as entrepreneurs to help propel really the U.S. economy along. Ultimately, that's really what they care about, is the economy. So there are governmental incentives. Now, one thing to think about is it's anything based in the United States, any research or development that you're spending dollars on, it's in the United States. If you're sending it overseas, the government's not going to give you R&D tax credits. So if you're spending your own time doing something, we're going to explain a little bit more in detail. If you're spending your own time and resources on trying to research things, you can even get a research and development tax credit for that, number one. Number two, let's say you're employing one of your assistants, right, of your company. They're taking time on pushing the envelope, let's say, as far as, I don't know, even AI as an example. Yes, even AI as an example. You can get an R&D tax credit. Now, at the same time, let's say then you're spending money overseas. You have a research team overseas. You live in the United States. You have a research team in India. Nope. Any of the money that's going towards India is not obtainable to get an R&D tax credit. I learned that. Sadly, I spent a lot of money. I knew about the research development credit in the U.S., but for whatever reason, we ended up sending a bunch of money to Bangladesh for our AI researcher. And, well, it helped us push the envelope as far as AI, but we definitely didn't get the traditional tax credits. Anyway, offsetting costs, just like I mentioned, anything in the United States, typically you get R&D tax credits. And it's all it is innovation. And I say it just helps society, because if you're propelling forward, let's just say you're OpenAI and you're trying to find a cool AI model, LLM, large language model, you spend whatever, let's just say $1 million, that's an R&D tax credit, right? Because you're innovating. Now just think how innovative that was. That helped all of society, really, but it really helped the U.S. It's really ultimately going to help the whole world as far as artificial intelligence. And as you can see, R&D tax credits are available. It's an incentive that can help businesses offset their costs and for innovative projects, etc. So now let's look at the eligibility criteria. Now think of this, think yes, yes, yes versus no, 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 okay? Developing a new product or process or service. Well, did you do that? Have you done that over the year? Let's say in 2023, 24, 25. Have you done that? Probably. I'm going to say you probably have. Your business must be actively engaged in creating innovative products. As an example, an AI model. You understand? Think about that. A lot of people, a lot of companies are spending a lot of money on AI. A lot of people are forgetting that they're spending time resources on artificial intelligence. That's usually going to be open to R&D development, research credits. Improving existing ones. Let's just say you have a CRM, just as an example, and you're doing AI on top of your CRM that's going to potentially be marketed to the public. That's developed, generally speaking, that's research and development credit worthy. Now, solving technical or scientific challenges, that might be for a smaller market. But yeah, it's possible too that you could be in that realm, therefore getting some R&D tax credits. Now, I should stop really quickly. My name is Kenneth French, vastsolutionsgroup.com. I've been running the company since 2006. This company has been around since 1969. We do tax, finance, and artificial intelligence to help business owners really to lower tax liability and prepare their business forward. At the end, please stay. We're going to give a little surprise at the end for you. That's number one. Number two, what I would say is we also have a new community called Vast Vault, where we're giving out lots of good content. Me and my partner in Vast Asset Defense, Bob Bloom, we're going to be giving out a lot of good content for entrepreneurs who are really, one, worried about their asset protection strategy, their estate plan, their tax finance, and artificial intelligence or business automation. Anyway, we're going to give you a little surprise at the end, because you're hopefully going to stay towards the end. Once again, my name's Kenneth French. Qualifying expenses. This is big. As I mentioned, salaries and wages for research staff. You have people, your staff, etc., who are doing research. You should be able to compartmentalize the time that they're spending on doing that research, propelling society forward. That's deductible. No, I made a mistake. It's not deductible. It's eligible potentially for a research and tax credit. Supplies. Let's say you're going out and buying a bunch of computers that you're now going to be doing only AI testing on. Those computers are deductible, as an example. Contract research. If you bring on a whole group to do R&D, right, for whatever the case is, let's say they're doing artificial intelligence testing for you, that group, let's say they're charging you $10,000, the whole thing is eligible for research and development tax credit. Utilities, overhead, the lights, my lights for the time that I'm spending on R&D, eligible for tax credits. Sometimes, I should say, talk to your advisor, at least ask I've never understood this, at least ask your CPA if it makes sense, right? By the way, it doesn't have to be a CPA. It could be a tax attorney. It could be the person who's doing your taxes, doesn't matter. But what I would say is people who are a little bit more sophisticated might be able to give you a little bit more information as to if it's eligible for a tax credit. Let's go over the benefits for the tax credit. It reduces your overall tax liability. Let's just say your tax liability is $100,000, and let's say you found $10,000 in R&D tax credits. Therefore, what's your tax liability? 100,000 minus 10,000. Yep, you got it. $90,000. Increases cash flow. So instead of now you having, as an example, cash flow before, because you did that act, now you have cash flow plus whatever, $10,000 as an example. At least it's worth thinking about right there. Pick up the phone, call your tax attorney, call your tax provider, see if it could work out for him. And the biggest thing, as it looks societally, right? You're innovating. You're helping propel society going forward. Now, we started, back in 2006, specifically, we started 20% of all our resources, all our revenue went to well, at the time it wasn't A&I, but AI. But what it was developing new technologies for our business, thereby also being assets going towards R&D. And it made a huge difference as far as, for one, it helped us because it made us a lot more kind of nimble because we're trying to find new solutions for business, right? So what I would say is now fast forward to 2018, we started
doing AI way before everyone else. We got tax credits. We got it way before everyone else because no one else understood AI. Now we've been able to be nimble because we are obviously pretty proficient in artificial intelligence. So we were propelling, I would say, indirectly propelling science and society forward. Applying for tax credits. A lot of people ask questions about that. How do you identify the R&D? Really, what you have to do at the end of the year, usually at the end of the year, you pull back the onion. You see exactly what was spent or what should have been spent or what should be going towards R&D tax credits and figure out if those credits did, in fact, qualify or will qualify for R&D tax credits. Then what you have to do is do the math, figure it out, right? That's usually what a team like us would be doing for you, is figuring out all the expenses, adding it all up. So you look at all the individual components, add it all up, and then on your tax return, you claim the credit. And it could be a huge, I mean, remember, it's a dollar for dollar. Generally speaking, it's dollar for dollar. By the way, you can even go back 2 years, sometimes 3 years, to look for potential tax credits that you've forgotten about. Now, here, the easiest way to do it is to maximize or compartmentalize your tax credits. The thing, or I should say, the R&D. So what you can do is theoretically on a weekly basis, you mark what you're spending as far as time and resources on R&D. It makes it a lot easier. Number one. Number two, then work with a consultant to help you do the math and make sure everything's in a nice tidy box. It's much easier that way versus going, at the end of the year looking through your shoebox. And then finally, you have to stay up to speed. You have to be proactive as it relates to these tax credits because the laws have changed over time. Let's go over some real world examples. Now, it's going to be a much broader. Remember, I said think yes, yes, yes. It's a much broader scope than most people think when they're looking at quote R&D. Pharmaceutical companies, yeah. Oh, of course, they're always doing R&D. They're always trying to see if they can, be innovative as far as a new drug, as an example. Tech startups. A lot of our clients don't realize they're basically a tech company. Sure, they might be real estate agents, they might be real estate investors, but truly at their core, they end up being a tech company, and they're spending a lot of money on cool technology, cool apps, as an example. Well, there you go. That's an example of something that's propelling society forward, that's being innovative, and that's an app or a technology that they're improving on their business or providing a new real world solution that can help who knows, society going forward. And then finally, manufacturing. Some of our clients, some of the people watching or listening to this are involved in manufacturing. A lot of new manufacturing techniques to think about that can also provide for R&D tax credit. Unlock your business's potential. If you invest in a lot of R&D, that's something to market. You should love that. So should the marketplace. They like innovative groups. That being you. If you're one of those groups that are out there being innovative, that's going to help you get as it shows here, a competitive edge. And finally, boost your bottom line. Remember, helps cash flow, lowers your taxes, helps in the marketplace. Then, of course, who knows? Maybe, just maybe, you could be the next the next Google. So once I mentioned earlier that I'm gonna give you a little surprise. Since you've stayed with us this long, sometimes I do give away a copy of my book, The Entrepreneur's Manifesto, a collection of smart financial advice. Totally appreciate you being here, you learning about tax credits. Again, who knows? Maybe you're going to be the next Google. Maybe it truly will help society if you actually identify something that can help as far as research and development. Email us, info@vastsolutionsgroup.com. Just info@vastsolutionsgroup.com. Info, the word book. Email us the word book. You'll get a copy of this. Obviously, give us your address as well. Now, by the way, I'm not just some guys throwing together this using artificial intelligence. I use this based on my own pen. I thought this stuff through. It's basically a collection of number of articles I've written. I'm a former Forbes.com business contributor. It's a bunch of articles that I've written that I think help business owners. Here it's about mandatory IRA distributions, large cap portfolio losses, how to gauge them, and make sure that they don't happen. Can you invest real estate in your IRA? There's a number of things here that should help business owners potentially you. Once again, email the word book to info@vastsolutionsgroup.com. Once again, I'm Ken French. If you have any questions, we can answer a couple different questions. Info@vastsolutionsgroup.com. Go to our website. Tons and tons of things there that could help you as a business owner. We have a couple things about research and development credits that could help you, the business owner. That's typically our clients. Once again, Ken French, I'm signing off. Hopefully this has been helpful because we have loved spending time with you. And if you have any questions in the meantime, once again, info@vastsolutionsgroup.com. Ken French, I'm signing off, kids.